I hope in this episode you will find words that might help you to open your minds and strengthen your journey each day as you work towards finding peace, love, joy in your life. Hi, and welcome to this podcast, which is about words. I want to thank you for your kind presence here. I am Anil Annaiah, back with a new episode. I believe in words. They have a force and power strong enough to change destinies. Words can give us courage to overcome the gusty winds. Words can give us the strength to swim the rising tides. Words can help us celebrate the power of human kindness. Words can help us fulfill our dream for a better world. Today I bring in a new thought from my book Open Windows to ponder upon. Happiness is a sacred circle. Each person in the circle has to put forth their share of the contribution. Please hear this again. Happiness is a sacred circle. Each person in the circle has to put forth their share of contribution. Let me now discuss the perspectives that could emerge from these words and the potential of this thought in helping us to make life better. True happiness is not a solo journey. It is a shared living field. A circle of positivity we step into not just to receive but to give, to participate, to become a source of radiant light, not just a seeker of it. It's a dance that presents effort and exchange. A sacred space where each person's energy, true intention, and positive action weave together into a greater whole. But here is the deeper truth. For the circle to remain whole, each person must contribute with all sincerity. Without this shared participation, the circle weakens, the light will dim, and the warmth will fade. Happiness is a living ecosystem, and every part of it matters. When we reflect on the individual contribution, remember, happiness starts first within. Before you can light the circle around you, you must tend to the flame within. This means knowing yourself deeply, healing your own wounds, releasing your grudges, building your sense of positive purpose, choosing gratitude over grievance. When you carry this inner peace, you bring a calm, steady light into every circle you enter. If you walk into the world with resentment, fear, or closed-heartedness, you add weight to the field. You dim the shared light. But when you bring your best, your kindness, your warmth, your sincerity, your growth, you elevate the whole. Happiness radiates outwards. It is not a solitary fire, it's a living warmth that expands as it touches others. Now, reflecting on the family contribution. Families are often our first sacred circles, places where we first learn to give, to share, and to hold positive space. But families don't just happen, they build. They thrive not just on shared blood, but on shared positive moments. On being there, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. To succeed here, show up with presence, not just routine. Forgive often, even when it feels undeserved. Listen deeply without trying to fix or judge. Celebrate each other's small victories. Hold space for each other's growth, even through discomfort. Happiness in a family is a circle of small, everyday, sincere efforts. A morning smile, a forgiving embrace, a gentle word, a steady presence when things fall apart. Every good gesture adds warmth to the circle. Every contribution builds the unseen threads that hold us together. And here is why this collective participation is essential. Even when one person in a family withdraws, holds back their warmth, or chooses indifference, the circle loses its strength. The connection frays, the light flickers. Families thrive not just on connection, but on positive contribution to each other. Now reflecting on contribution to society. But the circle doesn't stop at family. It widens to friends, to community, to society at large. We are not separate islands. Our actions ripple outward. Our work, our words, our positive intentions, they impact the greater field of human connection. To succeed here, be a giver as well as a receiver. Stand for justice even when it's not convenient. Serve in small, unrecognized ways. See yourself as part of the larger story. Carry compassion, not just for those you know, but for the unseen, the forgotten, the marginalized. When you contribute to your society, when you lift others, when you stand for compassion, dignity, and truth, you expand the circle of happiness beyond just your own immediate world. You become a builder of collective joy, a keeper of the common positive good. And why is collective participation important here? Because society is a shared reality. When too many withdraw, when too many choose isolation over contribution, the social fabric weakens. Communities fragment. The collective warmth fades. We are each threads in a larger tapestry. When we contribute, we strengthen the whole. When we withdraw, the circle breaks. Why this matters? When we each put forth our share of contribution, we ensure that the circle remains whole, alive, and luminous. When we neglect this, we take more than we give. When we close our hearts, we shrink the circle, we dim the positive light. Work towards keeping the circle strong. Stay present, be there fully, not just physically. Give warmly and consistently. Don't wait for grand moments. Build through small, positive daily acts. Forgive quickly. Let go of small offenses to keep the circle clear. Support without expectation. Give without keeping score. Stay humble. Remember, you are just one part of a larger whole. Happiness is truly a sacred circle, and each of us holds a piece of its light, a share of its gentle weight, a beautiful note in its ongoing song. When we each put forth our contribution, even in small ways, we ensure that this positive circle remains whole, alive, and truly luminous. Let us remind ourselves consistently that every small contribution adds to the collective radiance of our shared humanity. Do reflect on my string of words. Happiness is a sacred circle. Each person in the circle has to put forth their share of contribution. From the book, Open Windows. Find more insights as you place this in everyday life and your interactions or observations. Hope you'll connect more dots from here to help you through your journey in life. Thank you for joining me here today. My sincere aspiration is to keep sharing such thoughts with you and hope that these words will find a way to open up superb new possibilities in your life. We'll be happy if you could share this podcast and thoughts with others too. Do come back for the next episode And till we meet again, bye bye.